Hey YouTube, it's Carlos Cabanas. I'm back with another YouTube Live, and today I'm talking about this book here, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The version I have is a study guide by Paul Martinelli and Roddy Goldbraith. I did a study with them. This first chapter really just introduces all of the concepts that are in the book Think and Grow Rich. If you ever read the book or studied the book, you know that one of the things you have to have is you have to have a burning desire. So it starts out talking about Edwin Barnes having a burning desire to become Thomas Edison's business partner. He wasn't going to settle on just getting a job. He had to be the business partner. That was what his burning desire was, and that was his definite purpose. And even though he had to hitch his way on a train and he looked like a bum by the time he got there, he went there, and when he introduced himself to Edison, he said, "I didn't come here for a job. I came here to be your business partner." And of course, they started him off in a job, and eventually he worked himself up into a sales position, and he did become partners with Thomas Edison, but it wasn't by accident. It was on purpose. He had a definiteness of plans, he had a definiteness of purpose, and he was persistent. One of the biggest things that this book talks about is being persistent, because without persistence, it doesn't matter what you do. If you're not persistent, you're just not going to have the success. It also talks about R.U. Darby, who bought a gold mine and was digging for gold, and he didn't know the first thing about gold mines and mining or anything else. So after he borrowed all this money to buy all this mining equipment, he starts digging for gold, and he finds a little bit here and there, but he doesn't find the big jackpot of gold he was looking for. So he quit, and he sold the mining equipment to some junk dealer. The junk dealer hired a mining expert and goes in, and boom, they find a vein of gold. Darby quit 3 feet from hitting gold, and he regretted it for the rest of his life. Why? Because he gave up when he was right on the verge. And if he'd have hired an expert, if he would have got that, one of the things you need to have is expert knowledge. You have to have specialized knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge yourself, you got to go find somebody that does have the knowledge so that you can get from point A to point B. Otherwise, you're just going to do like he did and quit. And one of the really great stories in here is this little girl comes in, and her mama sent her to get 50 cents from this guy, and the guy was like, "I'm not going to give you the 50 cents." And the little girl stood there, and all my mammy says, "I got to have this 50 cents." And she stayed there until he gave her the 50 cents, because she was persistent and she stayed in the guy's face. She got the 50 cents that she needed. It's kind of funny, because one of the things that's really popular is you hit a challenge or you hit something that just blows you off track a little bit, but you never go back to that burning desire. You just kind of give up. And this first chapter really pushes it home that you got to have a burning desire. You got to have a definiteness of purpose. You got to be persistent in your goal. And if you follow all the principles that he lays out in this book, and there are, basically 13 different principles. But he says in one of the paragraphs here, this book was written for those who seek the rules which have made others successful and are willing to stake everything on those rules. This book was written sometime in the 1930s, 1940s, somewhere around there, but it was studied for 20 years, 20 some years before that. So basically, we know all the things in this book work, because the people he writes about in this book use these principles to become rich. So if it worked for them, it's going to work for you. And that's really kind of an amazing thing in here. One of the quotes he has in here is from Henley, who wrote, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." So basically, what you think about, you become. You are the master of your fate. If you're a failure, it's because you failed to do anything to change your life for something better. And if you become wealthy or famous or whatever, it's because you applied the principles to get you to that point where you would have the money that you want, or you would have the dream of being a movie star or a TV star or an author, whatever thing you seek to enrich your life with. This book teaches you how to get it. What I really like about here is how he talks about thinking in abundance and realizing that there's enough of everything out there. You just have to figure out what's going to be your path to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And there's many different paths you can take, but the opportunities are there if you take advantage of them. And one of the greatest things that I thought about this book earlier today was it says, think and grow rich. The problem is that 2% of the people think, 3% of the people think they think, and 95% of the people would rather die than think. You know, it's really about studying this book and applying all the principles of this book. Me, I've been studying this book now 3 years, going on 3 years. And like I said, this is the study guide by Paul Martinelli and his partner, Roddy Galbraith. And as you can see, right there, there we go. I got Paul Martinelli to autograph this for me back in 2018, 2019, actually. So the principles that are in this book will get you to where you want to go. The question is, do you have a definiteness of purpose? Are you persistent? Do you have a burning desire to get what you want? Because if you have those things and you have this book and you study this book, you will get all those things that you want and deserve so much in life. That's it for today. Everybody go out and make it a great day.